You're watching Business Day TV, and as we celebrate South Africa's best brands that have shaped and transformed the country's democracy in the past 30 years, I'm joined by Vodacom's Executive Head of Brand Marketing, Thami Majola. Thami, thank you very much for joining us. You know, just looking and focusing on the 30-year democracy and in celebration of it, how do you think that the telecommunications and technology has changed, evolved and transformed in South Africa in the past 30 years?
A South African story is a Vodacom story, and a Vodacom story is a South African story. If I think back 30 years ago, where we're at as a country, you're talking about fixed line, you're talking about only a fixed way of communication. Vodacom, being the first network operator to be given a license, has really shifted the way technology has evolved. And we've evolved from just being a mobile telecommunications provider to be a technology communicator, moving from just voice conversation to fixed line to also SMS to also financial services. It really is about evolution, and telecoms is about evolution and making sure that you keep addressing your customers' needs. And Vodacom has done that in the last 30 years. And we really believe that in the last 30 years, we've created a wonderful world, and that is why our campaign, 30 Years of Wonderful, speaks to that. And we are so excited to be celebrating this in tandem with the South African democracy, really democratizing communication, democratizing communications, and also democratizing access to all of the services we offer. We offer free online services for SMEs. We offer free education on our platforms. We really are a brand that's intricately intertwined with South African democracy.
As you mentioned, Vodacom just being one of those brands that truly speaks to the South African story, what role has Vodacom played in this shift and in this transformation in the past 30 years?
I think with time, you always have different consumers, right? Our consumers evolve. So if I think about Thami 30 years ago, he was just an infant, right? But Thami now is a business person. He's a professional. He's an SME. He's also an academic, right? And you have to address all those behavioral segments as a Vodacom, as a product, as a brand. I mean, a brand is a substance of multiple touch points and a story that's being told coherently over every segment, over every time lapse, over every stage that you're at. So we move with our customers from a SME customers, from a consumer, from a multinational. And I think Vodacom has done well in addressing South Africa's pain points, right? We've got a country that's dynamic, exciting, beautiful. It's got scenery. And all those moments must be captured using a Vodacom SIM card, using a different handset as you move from a very old SIM card that had an aerial to a touch point and a touchscreen SIM card. And I think as Vodacom, we're trying to address that. Whatever stage you're at in your life, trust Vodacom to address all your needs.
You know, some may argue that 30 years, democracy, such a young country, but within that 30 years, there have been so much of change, as you have mentioned as well. So when it comes to Vodacom, what brand work or campaign truly speaks to the essence of the company and the relationship that it has with its consumers?
Look, there's a lot. My predecessors have done the Lord's work. If you think about all of the Yebo Gogos, if you think about all of the Meerkats and all of the campaigns that we've done, Vodacom has just been sterling in terms of brand communication. But I now take you to today, South Africa. In 2024, you would have seen our 30th birthday campaign that really talks about the reflection of where we're at, the current state of the country, and the look into the future. So when we talk about being a brand that's been very grateful of where we're at with South Africa, we're grateful that our South Africans have been with us for the last 30 years. But we're also looking into the next 30 years. So to the next 30 years of wonderful, to the next 30 years of Vodacom, to the next 30 years of being the most reliable network in the country. Vodacom is number 2 in terms of the most valuable brands in the country. And we are the leader in terms of market share. We are the leader in terms of network and coverage. there is no nook or cranny in South Africa that we haven't covered. So as a brand, we've been very, very privileged, and we are very, very thankful for South Africans trusting us in the last 30 years. But guess what? We're looking forward to the next 30 years of purpose, next 30 years of connecting people, next 30 years of value. I mean, we are the most value-centric brand if you think about all of the plethora of products that we give. We are very thankful where we are as Vodacom, and we look forward to the next 30 years, making sure that we keep South Africa connected. And we are so thankful that this is in line with 30 years of democracy, really democratizing data, democratizing communication, and making sure that all of the SMEs which our country needs to make our country work is really, really connected and gets the best value in our products and services. So here's to the next 30 years of South Africa, here's to the next 30 years of Vodacom, here's to the next 30 years of Wonderful.
Well, thank you very much, Thami Majola, for just giving us your time and some insights on the work done here at Vodacom. That was Thami Majola, Vodacom's Executive Head of Brand Marketing. Stay tuned for more content on Business Day TV.